The Ted Braude presentation was so incredibly helpful to me. I've got two boys, a 5th and a 6th grader, and I am a girl. So it's very difficult for me to get into the mindset of a boy, especially as they're going into, as he says, crossing over that bridge into the forest, going into puberty. I'm really kind of in the dark as to how that looks, and he gave me so many concrete examples of what to do in certain situations.
I really enjoyed Ted Braude's presentation. I attended a lecture on a Friday evening and a whole morning workshop the following day. I liked that he had a sense of humour and didn't take himself too seriously. And I also felt that he didn't take the topic of raising sons too seriously either. There was always a sense of humour and a snappy takeaway message that I appreciated.
So Ted's presentation, I guess when I first heard about it, I thought, well, this isn't going to be helpful for me because my son's 15 and it's probably too late. So how much adolescents really need their parents even more. And so, so it was really helpful for me. I in fact, took home a lot of the things that he said, and I put them to use right away, and I found that they worked. Me talking too much, for example, I started talking less, and I've realized he's opened up so much more since I stopped doing that, so that was huge. And so yeah, I felt so great after the first evening that I came back the next day.
He has a great humor. He brings personal stories that are easily relatable. He was very capable at fielding questions from the audience. In fact, fielding all of those ahead of time and then able to kind of weave those things in throughout the presentation, which I think made it really relatable for all of the people that attended.
To not ask them to do something, but to tell them what you expect, because saying you need to do something, he pointed out that I never thought of it this way. You need to do something. That's not true, because you don't need to do anything. But you tell them what you expect from them and they do it. And I have tried that at home as well. And it worked. I actually got results. I couldn't believe how easy that was to just kind of not take back my power, but sort of, you know, like you try to be nice to your kids, but sometimes to their detriment, and it's okay to be firm and still be loving. And so I found that reminder really helpful.
The other thoughts about my experience at the Ted Braude workshop were that we're not alone, and that many parents are going through similar experiences to ourselves, and that boys are wonderful. I'm happy to be the mother of 2 boys, and it's nice to hear that other people have similar struggles and that it's really not that big of a deal. It doesn't seem so overwhelming to deal with the little day-to-day struggles after attending the workshop.
I would definitely recommend Ted to come speak at your school. He was very well received. We had a large, probably 200 people in our audience for an evening lecture, and then the following day, a large group of people for a workshop as well. I think what was most impactful from what his message was the fact that how boys relate different than girls, and so the message about boys wanting to win and play a game, and so that constant pull, a tug-of-war back and forth, and that really started a lot of discussion, I know, amongst the families, but even amongst the faculty, into how do we incorporate that method of working with boys so that they're successful and also we're successful at school.
Would I recommend Ted to speak at other schools and why? Yes, I absolutely would. He's very clear and concise. I like the way that he takes questions from the floor and that his presentation rolls along the way that the audience wants it to. He has so much knowledge that he doesn't come with this agenda that he has to get through. He definitely tailors what he's talking about to the people who are in the audience and the concerns that they would have. Although they all seem to fall back on these basic themes, which he reiterates and addresses over and over, which was great.
So overall, I would highly recommend this not only for parents of boys, but parents of girls, because engaging with kids, there's a lot of similarities. As different as the males and females are, I think anyone could benefit from this, because of course we also have boys in our lives, even if they're not our children. So I'm very grateful for the presentation, and I would love to see Ted Braude again in the future.